I, too, was quite liberal during my college years, as we all are. I mean, American institutions are essentially left-wing indoctrination camps, and we know this to be true. You go in, you are inundated with left-wing orthodoxy, and you exit much more liberal than before. We all know this to be true.
But honestly, I didn't really notice this as an issue in America until Donald Trump was running for president, and then after he got elected as president. And I am 1,000,000% guilty of honestly allowing him to kind of break my brain for a little bit, because I saw him as such a significant threat.
Yes, Libras are suddenly realizing themselves after being deceived for a very long time. I've seen others Kasparian coming out to say, the impression I had and how the media perceive everything about Trump engulfing me, she is guilty of that. Trump favorability surges by almost 20 points with young Americans, according to a new YoungGov poll. The seismic shift is extremely noticeable on TikTok, where young people, like in the video below, explain why they love the Democratic Party for the ride. 57% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 now have a favorable view of Trump, an increase of 19 points. When you look back, you will not see this, just because of the way the mainstream media make him to look was totally different. And I'm glad that people are realizing, seeing the BS with these people. It's important. I react to this video, share my opinion. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video out.
I, too, was quite liberal during my college years, as we all are. I mean, American institutions are essentially left-wing indoctrination camps, and we know this to be true. You go in, you are inundated with left-wing orthodoxy, and you exit much more liberal than before. We all know this to be true. But then I started thinking, I started noticing many inconsistencies. Why does the media say that he hates the middle class when he established the largest middle class tax cuts in history, when the median middle class income was up $5,000? Why do they say he hates people when he wanted to decriminalize homosexuality worldwide? He has gay weddings all the time at Mar-a-Lago, and he was the only president in US history to enter office having a pro-gay marriage position. Not the Bidens, not Obamas, not Clintons, no, Trump. Why do they claim he's some kind of racist when those claims had never been made before he ran for president? And then he's only ever accomplished wonderful things for minorities. Lowest ever poverty rates for Asian Americans, Black Americans, Latino Americans, and women. Highest ever employment rates for women, Latino Americans, Black Americans, Asian Americans. Why do the same celebrities who used to fawn over him, love him, adore him, suddenly think that he's the Antichrist? I'm talking Oprah, Ellen, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Mika from MSNBC. They all loved him, and then suddenly they're instructed that he's literally Satan. I'm thinking, if censorship is used to control people and control the narrative, why did they ban the president from Twitter for 2 years, from Instagram for 2 years, from YouTube for 2 years, from Twitter for 2 years? Why did Twitter and Facebook then ban conservative accounts? I'm thinking, why did Twitter Hunter Biden laptop story? Why did legacy media nearly uniformly post negatively about him for 8 consecutive years? So things are shady, and then they use lawfare against him. Lawfare is legal warfare. It's an attempted legal assassination. They weaponize the Department of Justice against the sitting president of the United States. That's never been done before in United States history. They drummed up a bunch of BS charges from some simple paperwork misfiling, one of them, and they turned it into 34 felonies, and they couldn't even go after him because the statute of limitations had run out. So a bunch of lawyers in New York who literally hate him changed the New York law so that they could prosecute him through a legal loophole. Most insane story ever. Meanwhile, they let the Clintons and Bidens off scot-free for genuine criminal behavior. So everything thus far is a lie, and then you listen to his press conferences for 30 minutes, the full 30 minutes, the full hour, and then you go on MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, and somehow they've spun his words around into the polar opposite of what he said. It's like I just saw him deliver a wonderful speech, and now the New York Times is tweeting that he said something horribly discriminatory? What? I mean, a good example of this is the Very Fine People hoax. He explicitly condemned hate groups, explicitly condemned them, and then all the headlines were, Trump condones the organizations. What? That is the polar opposite of what he did. And then you wonder how they can say he's money hungry and selfish when he refused to
Yes, I'm impressed that this lady saw this. Nobody actually taught her anything. She did research and discover everything alone. Some people decide not to do that. They don't do research. They just pick up what MNBC, CNN is telling them, and you will see the hate in them developing. There is a video I did here like 2 months ago during that campaign period where they interviewed children asking them if they like Trump. I saw some children around 9 to 10 years, the kind of things that were coming out of their mouth, they hate toward Trump, clearly tells you these are the people, the parents are putting them in this position. It is wrong, extremely wrong. When you see people that are doing a lot of research, their mentality is different. Before they take up a political party, they know what they're doing. Some still take that mentality of MMBC and them up to today. A reason you see them saying, "Oh, I want to flee the country. I don't want to be here again." They are panicking.
I think that politics has substituted religion to some extent. People have almost like this religious zealotry toward their political beliefs. And when that happens, it's really difficult to have a conversation with someone without it immediately devolving into allegations of bad faith, of, lying, deception, all sorts of things. And so maybe that's part of it. But honestly, I didn't really notice this as an issue in America until Donald Trump was running for president. And then after he got elected as president. And I am 1,000,000% guilty of honestly allowing him to kind of break my brain for a little bit. Because I saw him as such a significant threat.
If someone could explain to me or give me a pathway that Anna Kasparian will one day sit and talk like this, I would say it's a lie. I was shocked to realize she's changing her ways, not only now, before this election. Anna was already different. The kind of way she's putting her words are different. She doesn't really believe in this BS. Look at what she said here. The TDS in her is going down. It was to a level that this woman could not see eye to Trump because of the way she perceived, how the media painted him. She was, just following the trend. I used to think they are doing that for views, but it ended up not like that.
To abortion. And then you keep digging and you wonder why the New York Times posted photos of children in cages saying that was Trump's doing. Meanwhile, those photos were proven to be taken in 2014 under Obama. And then you wonder why Newsweek falsely reported that Trump was in Florida golfing during Thanksgiving when he was literally in Afghanistan serving dinner to troops. So they say he hates every single demographic, even though he's helped literally every demographic. They say he's a woman hater. They compare him to an evil, murderous dictator. They censor him on every platform. They lie about his policies. They try to falsely imprison him, and then they try to kill him in Butler, Pennsylvania. And then one can only help but wonder, why is all of liberal orthodoxy backed by the mainstream media, academia, every celebrity, Hollywood, legacy media, social media, every American institution? Why are we being fed this narrative over and over and over and over when it directly contradicts the truth at every turn? And then I realized conservatives are the resistance. Conservatives are resisting against the big government machine. I mean, when you tune out the narrative, the pieces start coming together. It feels like you've been in the Truman Show. The damn Truman Show. Everything's a false reality. The reality comes down and you see things for what it is. And then you realize just how deep the corruption goes. That is just the tip of the iceberg. People are raging against the big government, dissent-free, uniparty machine. It's a movement.
I really wish people suffering from severe TDS should be able to see this because people are living in darkness. They don't see the truth. It is high time for people to do research and find out some of these issues. When this lady posted this video, I had to go through to see the kind of videos they are posting to see what is actually going on. But along the way, I realized that she was actually in the dark. She never saw the truth. There was nothing who convinced this lady to change her mind. But I'm glad that she now sees it differently and passing on to others to do their own research and find out who this man is.
Push it! I'm doing this. That's That's what she did.
NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House.
And Donald Trump will be our next president.
Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
CNN projects that Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any in modern American politics.
You know what? Donald Trump likes my music. Please register to vote.
Look at this. She's only up by 15 points.
Caught Taylor Swift.
But if you said to me, out of the people that exist,
Elon Musk bought X and turned it into the social media arm of the MAGA.
I have a legal note. You want to take this one?
Play that sound for me.
I have a legal note.
I do have a legal.
Refuse to make them for me.
Listen, we saw what was going to happen, and now it is happening.
Look, even if Americanness specifically.
This is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to Kamala Harris. I'm like, I bet there's a person in there. I bet I can get to that person.
Yeah.
I wanted to find that person. I don't want to hear all the speeches. I don't want
roller skater. You know,
it's honest money. And I've never had the stomach for...
You mean like voting work?
Close of the campaign.
Beginning of the night, no one knew what was going to happen.